You can't control everything, but you can control how much it destroys you, and the moment you learn to detach, your whole life changes. Most people wake up every day already overwhelmed, fighting battles in their minds that haven't even happened yet. They try to control outcomes, control relationships, control how others see them, and when life refuses to bend in their favor, they break. But the Stoics understood a truth we forget. Suffering begins the moment we cling to what was never ours to hold. In a world filled with uncertainty, noise, expectations, and pressure, emotional freedom isn't found in gripping tighter. It's found in letting go. And today, you're going to learn how to do exactly that. Not in some vague, inspirational way, but through practical Stoic principles that will help you detach from the chaos, protect your peace, and take back control of the only thing that has ever been your mind. Stay with me. This might change how you experience your entire life. The root problem: you're attached to what was never yours. Most people don't suffer because life is inherently cruel. They suffer because their minds refuse to let go of what was never theirs to control in the first place. You cling to outcomes you can't guarantee, to people whose emotions shift like weather, to futures that haven't happened, and to expectations that only exhaust you. Deep down, you believe that if you hold on tighter, if you think harder, worry longer, or push stronger, you can stop things from falling apart. But this desperate grip is the very source of your pain. Stoicism exposes the flaw in this mindset with one of its simplest truths. You have the right to your efforts, never to the results. Your energy belongs to you. The outcome belongs to life. Psychology reinforces the same idea. The human mind has a built-in illusion called the false sense of control. Your brain tries to convince you that your anxiety, overthinking, and emotional spiraling will somehow influence what happens next. It creates a fake feeling of safety. It makes you think staying awake at 2 a.m. replaying a conversation will magically fix it. It makes you think worrying about a person will keep them close. It makes you believe planning for every worst-case scenario will prevent it from happening. None of this is real. The more you try to control what isn't yours, the more powerless and unstable you feel. And you see this everywhere in your daily life. A text message goes unanswered for hours, and your mind rushes to fill the silence with fear and self-blame. Your partner acts a little distant, and suddenly you're imagining breakups and betrayal. A project at work gets delayed, and you treat it like a personal failure. You scroll through social media and compare your life to filtered illusions, believing you're behind, unworthy, or failing. Every one of these emotional storms comes from the same root. You're trying to claim ownership over something that doesn't belong to you. The truth is harsh, but liberating. Other people's reactions are not yours. Their moods are not yours. Their timing is not yours. The future is not yours. The only thing that has ever been yours is your intention, your discipline, your choices, and your character. That is where real peace begins. Not in gripping, but in letting go. To start rewiring this pattern, try the reality check audit. Sit down with a piece of paper and list 10 things you're currently stressed, worried, or emotionally tangled about. Then, one by one, ask yourself, is this fully within my control? If the answer is no, mark it, release it, and stop treating it like a personal responsibility. This single exercise can feel like lifting 10 invisible weights off your chest. And remember the Stoic truth that cuts straight to the core of your suffering. Attachment is the birthplace of suffering. Principle 1. The Dichotomy of Control, Epictetus Framework. If there is one principle that defines the Stoic worldview more than any other, it is the dichotomy of control, the ability to separate life into two clear categories: what is within your control and what is not. Epictetus taught that nearly all emotional suffering comes from confusing these two realms. When you treat something outside your influence as if it depends on you, you create anxiety. When you ignore what is within your control, you create regret. Mastering this distinction is the foundation of detachment and the root of emotional freedom. The problem is that most people reverse these categories. They try to control other people's reactions, moods, timelines, choices, and perceptions, while neglecting the only things that ever truly belonged to them: their effort, their attitude, their discipline, and their response. This is why people feel exhausted. They're carrying responsibilities that were never theirs to carry. Think about how often this shows up in your daily life. Someone misunderstands your intentions, and your instinct is to over-explain, over-apologize, or rewrite their narrative of you. You get rejected by a person, an employer, an opportunity, and your mind immediately tries to control the meaning behind it, trying to convince them or yourself that their judgment is wrong. You fear someone's disappointment, so you shrink your truth, modify your personality, or twist yourself into a version you hope they'll approve of. In each scenario, you're fighting battles that can't be won because you're fighting outside your zone of influence. Epictetus captured this truth in one of the most liberating Stoic lines ever written. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. It sounds painfully simple, yet most of the world lives as if everything is up to them. When you understand the quote fully, you realize it's not just a reminder, it's a strategy. It teaches you to reclaim your energy from things you cannot shape and reinvest it into the only arena where you hold real power: your character and your choices. To practice this daily, use the 2-minute morning split. Every morning, take a sheet of paper and draw a line down the middle. On the left, write mine. On the right, write not mine. Then list everything on your mind: deadlines, arguments, fears, tasks, relationships, uncertainties. Move each item into the proper column, even if your ego fights it. When you're done, commit mentally to one rule: you will only invest energy into the left column. The right column is acknowledged, but it gets no emotional fuel. This simple ritual becomes a compass for your entire day. In work, it helps you focus on what you can contribute instead of obsessing over recognition or outcomes. In family life, it keeps you grounded when others are stressed, emotional, or unpredictable. In love, it frees you from trying to manage another person's feelings and helps you show up with authenticity instead of fear. The dichotomy of control isn't just a Stoic idea, it's a daily discipline. And once you embrace it, your life becomes quieter, clearer, and infinitely more powerful. Principle 2. Emotional non-attachment. Emotional non-attachment doesn't mean you stop feeling, caring, or experiencing life deeply. It means you stop being dragged, controlled, or manipulated by every emotion that rises inside you. Most people don't realize how easily their inner world gets hijacked. A sharp email from a co-worker ruins their entire morning. A passive-aggressive comment online ruins their confidence. Someone's bad mood becomes their responsibility. One unexpected problem sends their nervous system into survival mode. The emotion appears, and instead of observing it, they immediately obey it. That's how drama, conflict, and anxiety take root. Stoicism never taught that emotions are the enemy. The Stoics felt anger, fear, disappointment, and hurt just like everyone else. What made them different was their ability to pause before reacting. They understood that the first emotion is natural, but the second emotion, the one you feed with overthinking or impulsive action, is optional. You can feel anger without lashing out. You can feel fear without surrendering to it. You can feel hurt without letting it define your next move. This is the essence of emotional non-attachment. Acknowledging the feeling without becoming the feeling. To practice this in real life, use the Stoic pause, name, reframe method. Pause. When something triggers you, take a breath before reacting. This interrupts the emotional impulse and prevents automatic responses. Name. Identify the exact emotion: anger, embarrassment, insecurity, disappointment, fear. Naming the emotion activates the rational part of the brain and reduces intensity. Reframe. Ask, is this worth my peace? Or, what story am I telling myself right now? Then shift the meaning. Maybe the rude email wasn't personal. Maybe the online comment came from someone projecting their own pain. Maybe the tone of someone's voice wasn't about you at all. You've seen how powerful this can be in daily scenarios. You receive a harsh email, and instead of firing back emotionally, you pause, breathe, and respond with clarity. Someone leaves a disrespectful comment online, and instead of letting it poison your day, you name the emotion, "This made me irritated," and reframe it. "This has nothing to do with me." Emotional non-attachment doesn't make you cold, it makes you wise. To strengthen this skill, apply the 90-second rule. When you feel a strong emotion, give your brain 90 seconds to flush the adrenaline and cortisol out of your system. Don't text, don't argue, don't respond. Just breathe. After 90 seconds, the emotion becomes manageable, and you regain control. And if there's one line to remember from this entire principle, let it be this: you can feel something without obeying it. Principle 3. Detach from outcomes. One of the most exhausting patterns in modern life is the obsession with results. People live in a constant state of tension, wondering if the interview will go well, if the promotion will come through, if the person they love will stay, if their project will succeed, if their effort will finally pay off. And the more they chase the outcome, the more anxiety they feel. The outcome becomes a moving target, shifting with every fear, expectation, and insecurity. This obsession drains energy, steals joy, and turns every goal into a source of stress rather than purpose. Stoicism exposes the flaw in this approach with a single guiding idea: your job is the effort, not the outcome. Success is not something you own, it's something life decides. The Stoics understood that outcomes are influenced by countless variables you cannot see or control. A job interview isn't determined only by your preparation. It depends on the interviewer's mood, the company's timing, unseen competition, and external circumstances. A promotion depends not only on your competence, but on office politics, budgets, and leadership decisions. Love isn't guaranteed by how much you give. It also depends on another person's capacity to reciprocate. A personal project doesn't succeed simply because you tried hard. Timing, market, and luck play their roles too. When you attach your worth to outcomes, you're tying your peace to forces outside your influence. That's why the Stoics focus on process over outcome. The process is where your power lives. Your habits, your discipline, your preparation, your consistency, your character. The process belongs to you. The outcome does not. People who chase outcomes burn out. People who commit to process, improve, grow, and succeed naturally, sometimes even unexpectedly. When you detach from the result, you stop living with pressure and start living with purpose. To strengthen this mindset, use the action log. Instead of journaling your hopes, predictions, or anxieties, record only the actions you took today. Did you apply for 3 jobs? Did you study 1 hour? Did you practice the skill you want to master? Did you have the hard conversation? The action log trains your brain to measure progress through effort, not outcome. When you review the week, you'll see what you controlled, not what you merely wished for. And it's usually this shift that creates real results. Life becomes lighter when you stop demanding guarantees and start investing in process. You work hard, you show up, you try, you grow, and then you let life decide what comes next. It's not passivity, it's confidence. It's trusting that your effort will eventually meet the right moment. Remember this line every time your mind tries to predict, force, or obsess. Outcome is a guest. Process is your home. Principle 4. Detach from people's opinions. One of the deepest sources of human anxiety is the fear of being judged. Social anxiety isn't really about people. It's about the stories your mind tells you about what people might think. You walk into a meeting and worry about how you sound. You post something online and immediately think about who might criticize it. You share an idea and brace yourself for rejection. Human beings are wired for belonging, so the possibility of disapproval feels like danger. But that instinct, if left unchallenged, becomes a prison. You begin shaping your personality around what you think others expect, instead of expressing who you really are. The weight of other people's opinions becomes heavier than your own values. Stoicism cuts through this illusion sharply. The opinions of others are outside your control. They belong to their upbringing, their perspective, their emotional state, their insecurities, their moods, not to you. You can influence how you show up, but you cannot control how you are perceived. This is why attaching your worth to someone else's thoughts is emotionally self-destructive. You're letting strangers, co-workers, friends, or even loved ones become the architects of your self-image. And when you do that, your confidence becomes a fragile house built on sand. Think about everyday life. A co-worker criticizes your work, and suddenly your entire sense of competence feels threatened, even if their comment was subjective or biased. A friend becomes distant or silent, and you immediately assume you did something wrong, even though they might be overwhelmed with their own challenges. Someone you love doesn't respond with the enthusiasm you expected, and your mind interprets it as rejection or lack of love. In all these cases, you're reacting to meaning your mind created, not the reality of the situation. To break this pattern, use the 10-10-10 Stoic rule. When you feel embarrassed, judged, or insecure, ask yourself 3 questions. Will this matter in 10 days? Will this matter in 10 months? Will this matter in 10 years? Almost always, the answer collapses your fear instantly. The comment that stung today won't matter next week. The awkward conversation won't matter next year. The person who judged you may not even be in your life a decade from now. This exercise shrinks the power of temporary opinions and expands your vision beyond the present moment. Detaching from people's opinions doesn't mean being arrogant or dismissive. It means grounding your self-worth in something stable: your values, your integrity, your effort, your truth. When you know who you are, the noise around you becomes just that: noise. And the line that captures this entire principle is one you should repeat whenever doubt creeps in. Their judgment is not your truth. Principle 5. Detach from the past. The past is one of the heaviest emotional burdens a person can carry. It shows up as regret, guilt, shame, and the constant replaying of memories you wish you could rewrite. Many people live chained to moments that no longer exist. Mistakes they made years ago, relationships that fell apart, opportunities they missed, or words they can't take back. Instead of moving forward, they stay stuck in an emotional loop, punishing themselves for what they can no longer influence. This attachment to the past drains the present and steals the future. Stoicism offers a blunt but liberating truth. The past is dead. You only live in the present moment. To the Stoics, the past is a story, not a place. It cannot touch you unless you bring it into your present thoughts. You can learn from it, but you cannot return to it. You can grow from it, but you cannot fix it. Once something has happened, it belongs to the world, not to you. Your only responsibility now is who you choose to be with the time that is still yours. Modern neuroscience agrees. When the brain recalls a painful memory, it doesn't simply remember it. It reactivates the emotional circuitry as if the event is happening again. That's why you can feel shame from a mistake made 10 years ago as if it occurred yesterday. Your mind is reliving a moment your body believes is real. Without intentional detachment, you become trapped in a cycle where your past self controls your present decisions. You've seen this play out in your own life. You made a financial mistake, and years later, you still feel stupid or irresponsible. A relationship failed, and long after it ended, you still blame yourself or question your worth. You missed an opportunity, and you keep replaying the moment, imagining how life could have turned out differently. But none of these regrets have power unless you continue to feed them. To break the cycle, practice the release ritual. Take a piece of paper and write down 3 things from your past that you cannot change. 3 things that still weigh on your heart. Once you've written them, perform a symbolic release. Tear the paper, burn it safely, or throw it away. This ritual isn't magic. It's a physical reminder that some chapters are meant to be closed. You're acknowledging the pain, honoring the lesson, and choosing to move forward. Detaching from the past doesn't mean forgetting or pretending it didn't hurt. It means stopping the cycle of self-punishment. It means refusing to let an old version of you dictate who you are allowed to become now. And if you need one sentence to anchor this truth, let it be this: you can't heal while holding the knife. Principle 6. Detach from the future. If there is one thing that quietly destroys the mental health of millions of Americans, it's the fear of the future. People lie awake at night imagining disasters that haven't happened, rehearsing failures that may never occur, and worrying about problems that don't even exist yet. Future anxiety is a modern epidemic, fueled by uncertainty, overstimulation, financial pressure, and the constant stream of bad news. But beneath all of it is one core truth. The future is the ultimate unknown, and the human mind hates the unknown. So it fills the space with fear. Stoicism doesn't teach you to be naive or to ignore the future. It teaches something far deeper. Do not fear the future. Prepare for it. The Stoics believe that anxiety is not caused by what will happen, but by what you imagine will happen. Your mind creates scary stories, exaggerates threats, and invents outcomes that have no evidence. Fear becomes a movie you watch in your head, but because your brain can't distinguish imagination from reality, your body reacts as if the danger is already here. Heart rate rises, muscles tighten, breath shortens. You suffer emotionally from an event that hasn't occurred. This becomes painfully obvious in daily life. You fear losing your job long before there's any sign of it. You worry about getting sick even though you're healthy. You fear aging as if it's a failure rather than a natural part of being alive. You fear being alone, imagining a life of isolation even when you're surrounded by people who care about you. Most future fears aren't predictions, they're projections. They reveal not the truth about the world, but the insecurities within your mind. But you can interrupt this cycle with one of the most powerful Stoic exercises: the worst case, best case, most likely case method. Worst case? What is the absolute worst thing that could reasonably happen? Most of the time, it's something survivable. Best case. What is the best possible outcome? This reminds your brain that the future is not only dark. Most likely case. What will realistically happen based on evidence, not fear? This is almost always far less dramatic than the story your anxiety created. This exercise forces your mind out of imagination and back into reason. It shrinks fear down to something manageable. It restores your ability to think instead of panic. And it reminds you that the future is shaped not by fear, but by preparation. Detaching from the future doesn't mean ignoring responsibilities or denying risks. It means refusing to live in a timeline that hasn't happened. It means preparing from a place of strength, not panicking from a place of fear. The future deserves planning, but it does not deserve your suffering. And the line that best captures this entire principle is one every anxious mind needs to hear. Anxiety is the cost of living in a time that doesn't exist. Principle 7. Detach through virtuous action. Detachment isn't just a mindset, it's a way of living. And in Stoicism, The most powerful way to detach from the noise of the world is to live through virtue. When your actions come from integrity rather than fear, you stop being shaken by outcomes, opinions, the past, or the future. You move from reaction to intention, from insecurity to clarity. The world becomes far less chaotic when you know exactly who you are and what principles you stand on. The Stoics organized virtue into 4 pillars: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom guides your decisions so you're not controlled by impulses. Courage allows you to act even when you're afraid. Justice keeps you honest, fair, and grounded in what is right. Temperance prevents extremes, overreacting, overcommitting, or overindulging. When you act from these virtues, you naturally detach from external chaos because your compass is internal. You don't chase validation because you already respect yourself. You don't obsess over outcomes because you trust the integrity of your effort. You don't replay the past or fear the future because your focus is always on the right action in the present moment. You've seen this principle at work in real life. When conflict arises, the person who chooses patience over retaliation is the one who remains in control. When someone tries to provoke you, refusing to respond emotionally shows more strength than any argument. When others demand explanations you don't owe, holding your boundary with calm firmness demonstrates a depth of self-respect. Virtuous action protects your peace more effectively than any strategy or technique. To practice this, try the Virtue First day. Choose one virtue for the next 24 hours: wisdom, courage, justice, or temperance, and filter every decision through it. If you choose wisdom, reflect before speaking. If you choose courage, do the thing you've been avoiding. If you choose justice, treat everyone with fairness regardless of how they treat you. If you choose temperance, practice moderation in your words, emotions, and habits. This simple exercise trains your mind to act from principle rather than impulse. At the heart of this principle lies a single truth the Stoics lived by. Virtue is the great detachment. You've just walked through 7 Stoic principles that can reshape the way you experience your entire life. Recognizing what was never yours to control, separating the controllable from the uncontrollable, practicing emotional non-attachment, releasing outcome obsession, freeing yourself from others' opinions, letting go of the past, detaching from imagined futures, and grounding your life in virtue. All of it returns to one truth. You control your actions, never the results. As you move forward, practice these tools daily. The Two-Column Audit to clarify what deserves your energy. The Release Ritual to stop reliving what's already gone. The 90-second rule to regain calm before reacting. The Virtue First day to anchor yourself in who you choose to be. Thank you for spending this time investing in your peace and your growth. If this message helped you, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so we can continue this journey together. I'll see you in the next video. Stay steady, stay grounded, and keep letting go.